All right, what's going on, guys? So we got the Elko back in the air today because we're working on getting this parking brake mounted, and this is what we got. So these are the stock Camino LS1, like 98 to 2002 Camino parking brake lines. They're probably older than that too, but and then this is the center line. So all that stock, and then we got these hangers for it. And then I made these up a while ago I cut this off the Camaro rear end and just welded it onto this plate because we're going to be bolting it onto the rear end. And then this is the stock Camaro e-brake. And I have some 1/8 inch steel that we're going to make the bracket for this. And then these I'm probably going to use M8. We'll see, maybe M6, but yeah, let's get started. So here's that bracket mounted up. And then I got it going up over the control arm. So I got the seat in here because I need to line this up. And I just want to do this the easiest way possible. So at this position, it's not in the way of the shifter. I have to drill a hole for that little grommet. This is the grommet that comes, this is the grommet that comes on the Camaro, the body plug. So I need to cut a hole for that. And then, so this you can slide, you can move and tuck anywhere you want in the body. And at first I wanted it to be the shortest run, which would put it right here where this brace is at. So here's that brace that I was talking about. So we're gonna move that plug back to like around here, and then that puts where these click in, that moves that to like about right here. And then I'm thinking of making a plate right there for these two to clip into. So sort of like that. And that's right about where that piece is. And then it kind of tucks the cord up basically away from everything. And this is at just about right height because I got the rear end up on stands. So let's get the seat back out, get that hole mount mocked up, and then see where we go from there. So I got this cut up and fit around there, the little piece that I got made up, and then I'm gonna trace it and then cut it out. So this is what we got. So this is where the two lines from the back will go in, and then this is the line that from the inside of the car. And then that little joiner piece will slide back and forward. So now that the parking brake's mounted up, I'm going to take these wheels off and try to adjust that parking brake to get it as tight as we can get. And also, we got to clean this rotor up, and then this one makes a lot of noise. So we're going to see if we can, if there's anything rubbing back there that we could fix, but let's get to it. Okay, so I think I found the issue here, is that you'll see right there, it looks like the rotor's been scraping on the caliper. So when you put this back up, so you'll see there's a gap. It's kind of hard. You'll see where the rotor has been touching. See how close that is? It's because look at the gap between the backing plate and this part of the caliper. So I had this shim in there, but you'll see even with the shim it's still touching. So I got the, I broke these out. I'm gonna try to add one more to it and see if I could shave some off of this caliper right here, and then get these cleaned up, put it all back together, and see if it's making less noise. So I'm almost certain it's a bent axle. I'm thinking it's a bent axle, but you can see where it's been scraping along the backing plate, and then even a little bit on this side too. But so I tossed these shims on here. Just to pull it away from the backing plate a little bit. And I remember a while ago I heated this up and I hammered it back, and it still didn't do anything. And then so when you put the rotor on and you tighten it up, you can hear it go, and then it'll be clear, and then it'll go. So it's like, sounds like one bit of the, like it's just off by a slight amount. But these shims should help us with pulling the rotor out this way, to get us away from that caliper. So essentially, instead of shimming the caliper that way, shim the rotor this way, and maybe we could just toss these back on. Maybe that'll clear it up. So let's get it back together. Okay, so I got the shims behind the rotor, and then there's one shim on the caliper to push us, so it pushes the rotor forward and the caliper back. There's no more scraping, and I adjusted the parking brake. So I'm going to go on the other side and do the same amount of adjustment on there, and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, we're on the other side. This is your parking brake adjustment. So what I did on the other side is I took this and I basically turned it to where the parking brake seats all the way to where it would be at its loosest. And there's this line right here, and I marked it on this tooth right here. And then because on this side when you tighten it, you're going this way. So I took the screwdriver like that and I turned this gear 1 full revolution, so it's gonna pass this line, and then I went 6 notches up, so 6 notches past a full revolution, and I did that on both sides, and the parking brake inside feels way tighter now. And here's a better look at that bracket that I made for this. So these are 98 to 02 Camino calipers, backing plates, parking brake, and rotors. And then the reason these studs are longer is because these are for drum brakes. So I think later on I'm just gonna switch. This is just a 10 bolt. I'm gonna swap out to a 12 bolt, and I'll probably get beefy axles and shorter studs. So, and yeah, these are Russell stainless steel braided brake lines. What I did was I converted the stock El Camino brake lines into, I ordered this fitting that changes it into a -3 AN line, and then on the other side has the banjo fitting for the Camaro. So we got blue Loctite for the caliper bolts, and then some brake clean for the rotors. So we got the wheels back on, everything's finished up here, but we have to finish welding these pieces in, paint that guy up, and then there's this piece down here that I still have to finish welding because I kind of just tacked it in just to test it, see how it works, and then we're gonna have to come up with something for these parking brake lines. They're not, I'm thinking I might just need one hanger in the middle, but we'll figure that out once we get everything finished welded in. Okay, so we got our handbrake hanging. We just got done painting it. And also we painted the bracket, the mounting plate. So for this mounting plate, this is just 1/8 inch steel, and all I did, 2 bends in it, and I welded 3 nuts on the bottom of it, just so that I could get screwed in from the top with these guys. Easy enough.